recline chair, just a match and a cutter in the evening air. I leave the phone on the table, leave the world at the door. Don't need the noise or the grip of the floor. Just a cedar and the leaf and the blue-gray trail, watching shadows grow long over the rusted rail. It's a 60-minute mercy, a slow burning grace, before I head to the lounge, to my rightful place. The torch flame flickers, the ash starts to gray. Wash the dust of the valley and the burdens away. So keep them lit, guys, let the thick clouds roll. There's a healing in the embers for a weary soul. From the pondering porch to the leather and the grain, where the kings of the smoke, where the salt of the plain. Pass the fire to your brother, let the circle sit till the last draw's taken. Keep them lit. Step through the cedar door, smell the bourbon and the age. Another chapter written on a tobacco page. There's a trucker, a lawman, and a hand from the mill, sharing stories in silence while the clock stands still. No man is a stranger once the cap is cut. We leave the pride and the labels in a gravelly rut. It's a brotherhood bonded by the ring and the rap, with the weight of the week falling into our laps. So keep them lit, guys, let the thick clouds roll. There's a healing in the embers for a weary soul. From the pondering porch to the leather and the grain, where the kings of the smoke, where the salt of the plain. Pass the fire to your brother, let the circle sit till the last draw's taken. Keep them lit. It ain't about the habit, it ain't about the vice. It's the ritual of brothers, where the soul finds its prize. In the haze, we are steady. In the smoke, we are one. In the smoke, we are one. Let the thick clouds roll. There's a healing in the embers for a weary soul. From the pondering porch to the leather and the grain, where the kings of the smoke, where the salt of the plain. Pass the fire to your brother, let the circle sit till the last draw's taken. Keep them lit, yeah, keep them lit. Let it burn. Keep them lit.
Hello, and welcome to Keep 'em Lit, guys. It's good to have you all with us tonight. I'm Keith Meisner, aka CigarPop.
I'm Cigars Daily Review by Lance, and I'm Lance. Welcome. Tonight we're going to break into something new and different, new on the market by Drew Estates. It's going to be this is our early access cigars. It's actually known the El Tigre Dominicano, if I'm not mistaken.
El Tigre Dominicano.
Yes.
And if you're new here, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. Also, tap the bell so you know when we go live or we post something new. All right, let's go ahead and get into it.
Well,
I want to give a quick thank you to Tony and Ed, owners of Spartan Cigar Lounge. Tonight's live is being broadcast from Spartan Cigar and Pipe Lounge located in Elkton, Maryland.
thank you, Spartan Cigars. So, this is no better way to start off this than a cut in the light, right?
Well, let me go ahead and. So mine's still in the box. Lance got a little happy with the Vitolas. So let's see what we got here. Now the early access came as Fire and Water. Tonight, the early access that I'm smoking is the Fire, actually that I and Lance are smoking. And there's mine. Now, if it was the actual El Tigre that we were smoking, this is what they would look like. But like I said, this is what we've got. And with these, Drew Estate's doing what they do best. They're building hype, but also testing the market before the big reveal. And the big reveal was last week, then PCA, and now the release is apparently out there and selling quickly.
If you're lucky to find one, more power to you, because every place I've looked, they've been sold out. They're going like hot.
All right, looks like we've got why is this not highlighting for us? There we go. So it looks like we've got Hyman from Grouchy Monkey that's jumped in, and he's saying awesome.
Welcome, guys.
Hopefully that awesome is not just for the live, but also for the music that you hopefully heard as you logged in. That is an original by me. I am not the vocalist. I am actually a lyricist. And once my IPI number comes out, that will be available for download on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, etc.
That's an amazing song. CigarPop, I love it.
And we got a Hey from Kansas. Watching from South Carolina or California. Burning the Martin Tobacco and Trust Lita Red. That's just a born leader.
There we go.
And Kevin is watching from Texas today.
How you doing, Kevin? Good to see you, buddy. Man, this definitely has a little sweetness to it. I guess it's because it is wrapped in Ecuadorian. Nice.
It's got a good draw. And thank you. I started off making a jingle, and next thing you know, it turned it into a country song. It's a little long, but I thought it was well worth it.
Well, I wish old Johnny Cash was around to sing it for us. Oh. So, Keith,
Yep, go ahead.
what do you think about your first draw?
I was just doing a cold draw on it, and I'm trying to put down some notes. I mean, I'm picking up a little bit of cedar and like an earthiness to it.
Yeah.
I can't tell if that's cocoa or what. There's just a little bit of sweetness. Let's see.
It's got a little bit. It does have a little sweet cocoa. Yeah. Man, it's beautiful construction though. Very faint, nice.
Yeah, so that's based on the fact that they want you to have, 3 times, but they make 3 times the monthly rent. Which is particularly.
And I'm not sure if it is with the new underground LT grade Dominicanos, but this is a square press.
So,
Press,
if
yes.
you want to pay a bit more, we'll do 65 a year.
Come in a,
But an actual
I
true.
think there's a Toro,
And that lets you have money to save.
there's a Corona Vista, which is a 5 3/4 by 46. There's a Robusta, which is a 550. Toro, which is a 650. This is the
Like, that's not a retiring savings.
this is the Toro.
I have a nest egg.
Yeah. This is definitely a Toro.
Man, it's a beautiful band, isn't it?
Not just the band, but the foot band. It's got a beautiful wrapper to it as well. I mean, there's minimal veins, minimal seam. I don't know how much you can actually pick up with this, but
Yeah.
and not only are we smoking this, but tell us what you're smoking. What are you drinking tonight?
Which means Frank could only be,
Anybody that knows me knows I'll end up drinking a soda. So tonight I've got a Coke.
Hello, Kansas. I tell you, I will admit, Keith, knowing that I've had this in my humidor for the last couple of weeks, it's been hard not to try one. But as we made a deal, we weren't going to try it, so we stuck to our guns. But boy, I'm glad we waited. This is perfect.
Basically to me, this is Underground not trying to like outdo the other Undergrounds with being more harsh, stronger Ligero, more spice, etc. This is more like a refined Underground.
It's not as strong as the say the Underground Maduro or the T. It is a little more subtle.
I get like a little bit of a creamy spice on a retrohale.
I just got that. Yes, that is very nice. A little white pepper, I think. Oh, man.
But I know it's not normal for people to be slapping their gums when they're tasting a cigar, but I always do that. I not only pick up by my tongue, but obviously your sinus, your olfactory senses is where the majority of your smell comes from. And after I've had sinus surgery, mine's not as great as it used to be, so I still rely on the tongue.
I tell you, I can understand why these have been sold out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody else was able to get some of these early access boxes, but they're originally being sold for $12. And right at PCA opening up with the LT Gray, all of a sudden those boxes jumped to $25 if they were available. But almost every single place online I looked, they were no longer available. They were completely out of stock. Otherwise, I would have definitely loaded up on them.
Oh, yeah. So, how was your day today, buddy? I've been looking forward to this.
The only cigar I got in this morning was that Tobacco Red Eye. It's been bipolar weather. We had nice warm days, sunny days, and all of a sudden it became cold and dreary, and it's definitely too windy to be sitting on my pondering porch. But I look forward to coming to the lounge today so I could light this one up. Matter of fact, just so that I wouldn't spoil it with the cigar, I brought your favorite here with me. And I even picked up some new flavored tobaccos here. So I don't know if anybody smokes pipes as well, but to me they're a great short smoke. And I don't have to worry about a knot burn. Once you get that bowl lit, it does well.
So, what is everybody else smoking tonight?
That is a good question. I still see everybody in the chat, but for some reason I'm not seeing any new messages pop up. Come on, guys, tell us what you're smoking, what you're drinking tonight.
Doing well, Kevin. Thank you for asking, bud. Really enjoying this La Tigra. El Tigra, excuse me. I don't know why I keep wanting to say La. El Tigra. El Tigra, which is Spanish for
The tiger.
tiger.
All right. Looks like what's it? Tim McClure is saying bad ash emerald palette.
Okay, Maduro, which isn't my way to go, but still good. Man, it's nothing like a good Habano, Sumatra, Maduro to go with whatever it is you decide to pair it with. Tonight, I'm drinking an energy drink.
Looks like Hyman. The opening song was off the charts.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. I'm kind of glad you didn't like my original jingle.
I know.
Just to bring everybody in on it, when I originally decided to do a jingle for the opening, I wrote the lyrics and then went to AI and said, okay, sing it as a 1950s commercial jingle. Well, it definitely sounded like a 1950s commercial jingle, which is the reason why nobody happens to like it. My wife said, make it sound country. And said, definitely give it a male voice. And as I sat there and started messing with it, I kind of went on a tangent. Whenever you finish the jingle, I ended up just writing the song. Got here.
Did a great job. CigarPop, sorry. They're all rapping with a Dr. Pepper. I've heard a lot of people do pair cigars with Dr. Pepper. I have yet to try it.
So I just finished my first ever Liga T9 with some still Austin cast strength. I must get some more Liga Privadas. Yes, definitely like Ligas. It gets a little expensive after a while, but
Yeah.
they are definitely a good go-to.
Now, I've noticed this isn't a real, it's more of a medium strength, if I had to say. It's not an old cigar.
Yeah, I'm feeling it too as like a medium, not even a medium plus. To me, this is a medium.
Yeah, like right there on the line.
But I'm still picking up that cedar. It's starting to turn into a little bit more of like a cocoa and definitely an earth. And it maybe like almost like a toasted bread.
Yeah,
Which
I noticed the
I mean,
white.
that could be my my Coke messing with my taste buds, but I'm kind of picking up like a toasted bread here. I'm saying he's a Medora, which isn't his go-to, but it's still good. I know you like those Habanos. I definitely like the Maduros. I find the sweetness in the Maduros. Some people just find the strength in them.
And you notice people sometimes do get twisted a little bit, and Maduros are strong because of how dark they are. And that's not always the case.
No,
I smoke some very strong Connecticut's.
I haven't smoked a lot of, I can't say a lot. I've definitely smoked my fair share of very peppery Connecticut's. The spice definitely woke up my sinuses.
Like pouring out But you just give us a list of
I'm really liking this.
I just,
Yeah, same here. Like I said, it's got like a nice transition to it. I mean, transition
why do they show
as far as underground goes, because the Maduro, that's my go-to, the underground Maduro.
Yes.
Underground shade, I'd probably smoke that morning, early afternoon kind of thing. I could definitely see this one fitting in midday.
30
And if anybody knows, based on the way I post on Facebook and on Instagram, I ramp up. In the morning, I start off with a light coffee cigar, then it goes to maybe a Connecticut, then a Habano, then I'm at a Maduro, and by the end of the night, basically whatever cigar I'm smoking is enough to peel the paint off the walls.
Now I could see me having one of these with my morning coffee because of the coca. I think that would really go in a little white pepper with it. I think that would really go well with my black coffee. But that's me.
Right. And one of the things I probably should have done today, I should have brought a sparkling water to open up my palate a little bit more. But based on what I'm getting, like I said, I'm picking up like a toasted bread, a little bit of creaminess, some spice. Definitely cedar.
Yeah, I'm still getting that cedar almost a half.
Speaking of cedar, you just did that video on enhancing the flavor of your cigar by lighting with a cedar spliff.
Yes.
I should have grabbed one of those tonight and lit this thing up that way to really bring out the flavor and to feel fancy at the same time.
Oh, the aroma, whenever you burn it, the aroma is just amazing. You can get it a little bit through the draw, too. It's elegant. It's extra little flavor nuance to your toast.
My chef's knife that I made is
Okay, now I'm getting into something a little different.
60 carbs. So technically, my chef's knife is about ready.
I'm not sure. Something up there.
You're picking up different flavors?
Resin and epoxy.
Yeah, I can't put my finger on it. It's
I love sweet. Okay, so 20 minutes.
Oh, it is.
That's what I was thinking. Skin was all
a bit cold, but it's still got the earthiness to it. But
Most of my wish list is one of her weapons. Like,
All right.
can't put my finger on it.
greatest.
See if I could bring this. So I got a little hiccup in my burn, but for the backside, it's staying nice and crisp. Got a nice mascara line going. And if you see, I have just a little bit of a split in my ash. Otherwise, it's stacking nicely, other than that little split, like I said. I just don't know why this isn't focusing as well.
Pretty much.
Ooh,
So,
look,
Lance, are
that'll
you a
make it
tapper, or do you like to wait until the ash falls in your lap?
It depends on if I'm in my vehicle or if I'm at home. If I'm in my vehicle, I'm a tapper. If I'm in, I'll let it fall off.
That's the one of the lyrics in my song was the weight of the world falling in your lap. It's the ash falling off your cigar.
23,000 plus individual rings.
Or the weight of the week, I'm sorry. The weight of the week falling in your lap. I must have a lot of weeks each day of the week because I get a lot of ash falling in my lap.
I also like the part in there where you mentioned puff and ponder in there. I like that.
My pondering porch to the leather and the grain. So, as I had mentioned before, my porch was my pondering porch. That's where I wrote my books as well as I wrote this song. And the leather and the grain is coming to the lounge. Seeing a nice leather chair. The grain has multiple meanings. I mean, you could be drinking grain alcohol, the grain of the leather, the grain being the texture of the leaf. But you know, I did start off on the pondering porch today, and now I'm in the lounge with the leather and the grain.
It's fiberglass with nylon. So,
You know, getting a little nuttiness into this. I'm not sure.
the seal is the same. So,
You know, I thought it was me at first. I was picking up almost like a roasted nut kind of flavor, but
Yeah,
I can't pick out what the nut is.
it's usually used for like pumpkin supplies or survival supplies. So a lot of times if you see like,
but it's definitely smooth.
survival honey, you see that discovered.
Yeah.
Cutting through work.
It's a good in between the Maduro and the shade.
I agree with you. I agree. Yeah, it's not on. It's just right at that medium, perfect. Not one way or the other way. A little leathery too.
Looks like on Facebook here, some people are trying to message, but it's not coming across.
Oh. I'm gonna be honest. This is definitely a 5 or 10 pack worthy, but I don't know if I would buy a whole box.
Yeah, I would definitely keep some on hand, but I don't think I would go box deep on it just yet.
No, I mean you're looking at a box over $200. I can find a little more nuanced cigar, a little more strength to it. But this is definitely a damn good cigar. I will say that, but not box worthy in my opinion.
I'm gonna do a quick touch up here.
Touch it up. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I got that one spot that's starting to canoe on me. The rest of it's burning nice and even. But
I had to come out my shop and do this. I was going to do this on my patio, but my next door neighbor decided he wanted to pressure wash his driveway, and I was like, "You got to be kidding."
yeah, well, soon I will have my little smoking lounge in the backyard. The only issue is when we do go live, just to warn everybody in advance, I live basically in front of a firehouse on a main street. So not only do we get firehouse sirens, we also get the ambulances flying up and down the street. And because I'm in a touristy town, we also get a lot of Harleys that roll through there, and you know, you gotta, those loud exhausts definitely, you know, save lives, but they don't work too well when you're trying to record.
For those of you who tuned in a little late, we're smoking the Drew Estates. We got the early access fire, which is now, as we all know, being called El Tigre Dominicano. It's now on the market now. If you can find it on a website, good luck to you, because they're going fast like hotcakes. What I'm looking at, but definitely a good cigar to pick up. But like I said, in my opinion, I wouldn't buy a box. I'll buy another 5-pack or I'll buy a 10-pack of, but that's about it. And just smoke them occasionally.
Yeah, I already know what the next one's going to be because of the PCA release as well as the reveal on the early access. I know that's definitely not in your wheelhouse. It'll be a little bit more in mine because I do like a sweet tip here and there.
But you know,
But that's
Keith,
the Deadwood.
but you know, I've had some friends such as you and a couple of other guys that turned me on to some cigars here lately that are out of my wheelhouse, and I've really enjoyed them. So at this point, I'm down for anything. I'll try anything once. But everybody knows on this podcast, you're going to get true, honest reviews.
Yep, this is no fluff.
Yeah, no fluff. Cigar and Pop and I may love the same cigar. We may disagree on the same cigar, but we're going to be honest with you.
Yeah, as for instance, Lance likes the cigars that are like he's getting pepper sprayed.
Yeah, I will admit that. Yes.
I definitely prefer a tobacco. I've got a definite sweet spot for that, and I'm looking forward to Hyman over at Grouchy Monkey when he releases his Coco Mono, because I like to keep a nice breakfast cigar in rotation.
Yes, and that's why I've introduced Connecticut's into my my breakfast, and that's something 6 months, a year ago, I would have never done, but I've come across some really good ones.
I've been surprised by many cigars myself. You know, I start feeling comfortable once I know what's in my wheelhouse. And typically, when I do reviews, a lot of the reviews I've done not only were legacy brands, but obviously boutiques just coming out with their own line, or they've got a new Vitola that they're releasing or something to that effect. And I will be completely brutally honest. Even if I don't like the flavor itself, I will still rate it on,
More or less.
the burn, the appearance, the construction, the draw, the aroma. And like I said, in my commentary portion, this reason why I added a commentary is I will indicate whether or not I find this is a one and done. Maybe I'll get a 5-pack and just kind of keep them in rotation, or something that's definitely box worthy, in my opinion. But that is based on my palate. But like I said, when I sit there and I review something, I'm reviewing it based on all those other factors. So I don't let my personal taste really dictate so much what the my rating is on it.
Because taste cigars are very subjective, and that's why there's in the new world cigars. There's so many varieties. There's one out there for everybody, and what cigar popping or may not like, you may love. Vice versa.
Yep, and just like when we had Hyman from Grouchy Monkey on our last live, as you pointed out, you can have the same leaves, wrapper, binder, filler, give it to 3 different blenders, and you will get 3 different cigars out of it.
Absolutely.
Everything is subjective, and it's to everybody's taste. I just happen to know, what fits my palate best. Now, if you're looking for stuff, want to try and explore something new, definitely check out Lance's, what's called the Cigars Daily Review by Lance. He posts often tips and tricks as well as different reviews, his thoughts more or less in a minute or so on each cigar he smokes. And just to give everybody a heads up, it's not, he just lit it up for the first time and he's going to give you his opinion. Now, when we do our reviews, we're smoking a cigar beforehand, and then we're smoking it again and seeing if it repeats. And then we're actually giving you our opinions on it.
But this time, we're both virgins on this.
Yep, this time, yep. On the early access fire or the LT gray, lost my cherry on this one.
I as well. But it was hard. I had a couple extras, and I wanted to, but We promised each other we wasn't going to try it, and here we are.
I tried to find one so I could smoke it beforehand just to give myself an idea. But coming into a blind, I think that works best for going live, because now you're actually getting a honest opinion on it.
Right. And you're actually getting how it burns and construction.
After that one little touch up, as you can see,
Mine is
it's got a nice mascara line.
Mine is starting to look a little funky on the end.
That's how mine split in the very beginning. Since then, I've been tapping my ash a little bit short so I don't get the ash on my keyboard. But it could also be a nervous tap.
Well, I will say, before I lit this, the RH relative humidity on the foot was a 63, which is where I like it. I like 63, 64. I knew the humidity was correct. Everything else as is.
Actually, I kind of feel like an idiot. I didn't even bust out my hygrometer to test it before I cut and lit it. But I do have the other one. So let's see where that one stands. Here's my hygrometer. 64 and a half. I don't know if that's showing up or not. I guess it's really not picking up on this. Yeah, I'm at 64 and a half. And to me, 64 is my sweet spot. That's where I prefer mine, especially for my area. Humidity in my area definitely varies. Unlike the guys in Texas, really dry. The guys in Florida, really humid.
Yeah, I'm in Louisiana, and
it's a problem. Whereas once you're inside this range, I've got to switch.
We've been out on the boat all day, and I had one cigar. I didn't want to ruin my palate. I wanted to have a cigar.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I smoked the pipe, because I wanted to kind of keep my palate clean for this one. Pipe tobacco, aromatic. It's going to have a different flavor, a little bit sweeter, more floral, etc. This is not one of those kind of cigars, so it's not going to be something that was going to alter my palate.
Still getting that nuttiness flavor to it. Still got a little sweetness to it a little bit, but the white pepper I was getting earlier is definitely gone.
Yeah, just a little retrohale on it, and it's like a really faint spice now. And I'm only in my second, third, but I still get that roasted nuts. I just can't tell you what nut that is.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be cashew because it's kind of creamy.
It is creamy. I think this would be an excellent morning cigar.
Well, for me, as I put in my books, Puff and Ponder, I love when I can't tell if I'm drinking my cigar or smoking my coffee. Actually, I kind of said that backwards. I love when I can't tell if I'm smoking my coffee or drinking my cigar, because I do like the coffee-flavored cigars in the morning, like the tobaccos, or a nub, or something along those lines.
Also has a chocolatey one. I wasn't a fan of, but people swear by what their coffee is. It's called the Macanudo.
Oh, yes, the M by Macanudo.
But man, let me tell you, you got to keep it in a separate humidor because the whole humidor becomes that smell.
Yep. Anything that's infused, you want to keep into a separate drawer. Or for me, I've got everything in Tupperwares anymore, only because of the fact that during the winter, I have electric heat. It just sucks the humidity right out of the air. No matter how often I'm doing it, which sometimes was twice a day, refilling my my humidity packs and swapping out the humidity in my my humidors, I just went to the top of the door. Now I just throw it over the pack in there and seal it, give it a burp once a week, and it's good. But all my infused are in, like, all my Drew Estate like acid line, that's in one Tupperware. All my coffee cigars, that's in another Tupperware. And matter of fact, I even have separate Tupperwares for each of the boutiques that I've been smoking. I got smaller ones, so this way, when I do get around to smoking that cigar, I'm getting its flavor and it's not being like cross contaminated with something else when I'm trying to give it a good honest review on it.
Well, my wife loves that little cigarilla. It's called Maduro. It's a Maduro, but it's spelled a little bit Mardo. Mardo. Anyway, she loves that little. It's got a purple label, and I have to cut it for her, to her, get that sweetness, that floral note in my mouth, and I'm like, that's not me, but she loves it.
Well, I definitely want to try out the new one that's coming out from Steve Saka. He had mentioned that he has a new formulation for a sweet tip. That typically your sweet tip is saccharin based, because if you use something like a sugar, it can break down and turn bitter. And I would also think that with the sugar, you also run the risk of having it turn moldy or something as well. But I mean, they've been doing sweet tips for decades, so.
Yeah. I don't know if ever here in the next couple of weeks, me and you are gonna be reviewing one. I'm kind of looking forward to trying it. Now,
You're breaking up just a little bit.
A little bit.
All right. Go ahead and say that again. You broke up there just a little bit. I think we need to get you a mic that you can hook into your computer or your phone, so this way it's right there on your collar.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh, yeah, now that you're sounding so much better just as you got closer right there.
Okay, good. Yeah, tobacco has a natural sugar in it already, but it's just a little hint of it. But some people can also, when it rises, like if you let it sit for a year, 2 years in a cigar, sometimes you get a little white film on top of it. That's sugar now. It don't mean it's mold. So just be aware of it. If you can wipe it off, you'll know hey, that's sugar. It ain't nothing. That's just added sweetness. That's added flavor.
Yep. I thought it was kind of weird. I had my factory smoked sweets. That was one of my yard cars. I loved it. I didn't have to worry about if I was tossing it out. I'm not throwing out a $20, $30 cigar. But I had one that got hidden in my humidor. When I was swapping it over from the humidor to the Tupperware, I then realized, oh, here's one I haven't seen in a while, and I pulled it out. I think it's been sitting in the humidor for probably, I would say, a year and a half at that point. And there was a crystalline type structure on the cigar. Definitely not mold. Could be what they call plume, but the whole cigar and not just the tip. So it wasn't just that it was a sweet tip, and it definitely enhanced the flavor. To me, it reminded me of the coffee with the was it the Folgers with the crystals, flavor crystals. So my factory smoked sweet came with flavor crystals.
And like you said, it's just an added flavor.
Yeah, I would have been a little bit worried if that was fuzzy, if it was white, if it was on the foot. But no, this actually looked like my cigar took a header into.
The new bands on these.
Is that Sean that just popped in there? It says I'm in. And Sean, I apologize. I'm not sure what's going on Facebook. Hopefully the live is going well, but for some reason, I'm not receiving any messages from Facebook over to our restream.
I'm not either.
The only thing I'm seeing is the messages that are coming over from YouTube. But I'm glad you joined us. Uh, Tell us what you're smoking, what you're drinking. Not sure if you were caught up with where we're at so far, what we're smoking, but tonight we're smoking what was the early access fire, and it was revealed that it's the El Tigre Dominicano from Drew Estate. It's New Underground. Yes, it is. I guess that means the live's going through good.
Yes, YouTube's handling good. I don't know what's going on with Facebook.
Now, I know that it was definitely playing. I'm seeing it in the lower corner here. I can't turn the volume on, so I can't. If I did that, it'd be such an echo in my headset. It'd blow my eardrums out. But for some reason, like I said, the chat is just not transferring. He's preparing his Padron Anniversary Series with Domenico Reserva Exclusiva Rum. Man, that's a tongue twister. There you go, Lance. You get somebody pulled over for being under the influence. Have them pronounce that.
Yeah, say that 3 times real fast, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, CigarPop. I don't know about this. This is definitely like a 5-packer for sure. I don't know if I would spend my money on a box. In my opinion.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I definitely can see this as a 5-pack. At first, I was sitting there thinking that because I really like, I definitely stock up on the Underground Maduros. I normally keep 5 to 10 of the shades. This year, I'd probably keep 5, maybe 10 of these as an in-between kind of cigar. Because like I said, it is definitely, for me and my palate, this is between the two. But I'm noticing this far, keep going the wrong way. This far down, I'm actually showing, still getting that, like a creamy cedar, roasted nuts, just a slight sweetness. I'm really not getting that spice I had on the retro before.
No, I definitely agree. There's not a lot of nuances in this. Couple, at least that I think.
Yeah, I think to me, it shifted a little bit more creamy.
Yes.
At this point. But like I said, I mean, this is I can see some people, especially ones that smoke stronger cigars on a daily basis, this be a nice light breakfast cigar for somebody. To me, I would definitely think of it more as an afternoon cigar. If it was a short of a toll, I'd actually have this as a lunch break cigar.
Hey, they made this in a cigarillo. What do you think?
I probably would do a cigarillo.
Yeah. Like the size of it. This is the size of a dagger. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of daggers, I had 15. I'm down to 3.
My 2 sons are smoking my daggers now. I've got 4 people I'm supporting. Wife and 2 sons and me.
Okay.
Young one, 1252. Good evening. I'm getting ready to enjoy Foundation Tabernacle. And what are you pairing that with tonight?
Those of you who come in late today, we're doing the reviewing the early access fire by Drew Estate, which is now known as El Tigre Dominicano. It's
El Tigre.
El Tigre.
Yeah, El Tigre Dominicano.
And it's a Sumatra, Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper with Nicaraguan fillers. It's not a bad cigar. I'm not gonna say I'd throw it away, but it's not a box.
I haven't done, like, I've watched anything, anime, like any abuse that season. In fact, the last time.
I just did a little retrohale, and I swear I picked up like a little bit of floral for some odd reason. I know it's not coming from my pipe tobacco because that's sealed.
I haven't got any floral note. I hope I don't either.
But then again, like I said, I am pairing mine with the Coke, so maybe I'm picking up some kind of aromatics from the Coke syrup.
Now Kevin paired his with his cigar with Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper.
I do that often, Dr. Pepper or a cream soda.
Cream soda, okay.
Yeah. But like I said, if I want to keep my palate clean, I'll go with sparkling water. Maybe like a lemon flavored sparkling water. Just something to help cleanse the palate, keep it clean, be fresh for picking up the nuances of the cigar.
That's not the same.
Paired his with Elijah Craig Small Batch.
Yeah. He says that yeah, Elijah Craig, man, he's got Elijah Craig.
Yeah. Unfortunately, where I'm at, we're not allowed to have alcohol in the lounges yet. It is supposed to be on the ballot. Hopefully, it does get passed. It would be nice to enjoy a cigar with something more than just a soda or a coffee. I mean, obviously, I can drink whatever I want at my home lounge, on my pondering porch or on the back patio. But
CigarPop, can you bring your own beverage in there? Do they allow that?
No, that's one of the things here. I don't know if it's a particular county or if it's just with the state itself, but you can't even do a BYOB.
Okay. Because I've been to some lounges, they don't sell beverage, but you can bring it in. Bring your own.
Because they're because the laws of Maryland, you're allowed to
Touch it up.
Mine is actually starting pretty good, even though I've been tapping the ash. I should let the ash start to stack a little bit more and see if it does alter the burn. But for the most part, it's hanging in there. As far as the box press goes, the draws stay nice and steady. It's got a perfect amount of resistance for me. I am a stickler with resistance. If it is too open, I will actually walk away from the cigar. If it's too tight, I'll walk away from the cigar if I can't open it up with the draw tool.
Yeah, if it's too open, it burns too hot.
It reminds me of those sucking down water through like a milkshake type straw. You know what I mean? It's too big and open, it flows too fast, it burns too fast, it gets bitter too quick. It might be my experience, but I like that resistance. And one of the things I actually found with a lot of resistance, even though it's shifting here, is Steve Saka cigars. Everyone I've smoked so far, I mean, you could basically hit somebody over the head with it. It's packed really nice and tight, but the draw has just the right amount of resistance. The ash stacks really well, slows your cadence. You aren't, hot boxing the cigar. It's not turning bitter. I mean, every one that I've smoked, it's just been a nice flow. Like I said, it's packed so well that you could hit somebody over the head with it. Probably wouldn't even crack the wrapper. Here in California, lounges can have alcohol if it's grandfathered in or private membership, if I'm not mistaken. But anymore, isn't California making it so difficult for people to actually buy cigars or lounges to carry cigars?
is the tax rate there in California cigar, like a cigar like this, for example, like outrageously priced?
I know Oakland Tobacco, OGT, actually moved from California to Carolinas. I think in part because of all the regulations they were having with tobacco out there. I think every single cigar, every blend, every vitola, you had to have documentation on and like submit, applications for.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so much regulation that it takes the fun out of everything.
I know some states, their tax rate is so high, it kills them.
Now, Maryland, we have sales tax as well as we have excise tax.
I was like, that's cool. Parts number change.
To me, it's actually not that bad. I hate to pay anything extra on it, but it's not like I'm taking a $10 stick and all of a sudden now I'm paying $20 for it. Because if it got to that point, I'd just buy the leaves and roll them myself.
That is a thought. Grow one in your backyard.
I have seen somebody, I think it might have been on Facebook, who is actually documenting that he's growing his own tobacco leaves, drying them, rolling them, and I wouldn't mind trying it just so I can say, yep, that's one off my bucket list. I grew my own tobacco, I fermented it, I rolled it, and it's a Puro because it's going to be from the same plant.
I don't know if I could roll one. I had a class on the roll one. Good.
Well, after my injury and having multiple surgeries, I spent a lot of time either in a hospital bed or a recliner or, basically just bed bound. So I watched a lot of videos and learned how to do it. Much higher prices at the lounge and brick and mortar stores than bar. Won't sell in California anymore due to the taxes and basically cigar registration by SKU. Yeah, that's what I was mentioning. So they have to register every cigar by its SKU. So every single cigar, if you had, I will just use this as an example. If you got 5 different vitolas for this same blend, you got to register all 5 vitolas.
Oh wow!
Yep. Now, they're as big as Drew Estate, have so many different lines, different vitolas, etc. For decades, can you imagine the paperwork involved just to get all that registered?
Yeah. Domo, Diesel, Reliva. I mean, I don't know how they can afford that.
I mean, I've actually gotten to the point so far that even when I go out to dinner, I can't even stand filling out the tip and calculating it just so I can sign my name and walk away, let alone have to sit there and do paperwork for every single cigar that I would have in a lounge or a brick and mortar.
It was. We got a lot. Even if nothing's still wrong, we got a lot of.
Hey, look, that's right.
That's right. So that's three mechanics.
Nothing has changed for me here. I'm still getting
No, just actually thinking the same thing.
nuttiness, the creaminess. That's about it.
Yeah, it opened up with a little bit of pepper spice to it, but like I said, it kind of balanced out. I would think more towards the middle of the second third. Now I'm hitting the end of the second third, going into the final third, and I'm still picking up the same flavor notes. So that's insane. I'm glad I left California. I miss my family though.
Sorry to hear that, Sean. Family is where it's at. Be tight, but you can always go visit or have them visit you.
Yeah. I don't know. I always wanted to go to check out California, but more and more regulations I see here. I think I'll just stay in America.
Now there, look at there on tribal land. That's a thought, yeah. So, for an average cigar at your lounge you're speaking of, what does the average cigar cost you?
Trying to learn how to do that. And it's a learning curve.
Lounge near me that doesn't charge tax on their sticks and serves alcohol at a reasonable price.
Right.
It's on tribal land. Oh man, yeah.
Well, more than that,
You're going to pay
sort
a little more
That's
cigar lounge or brick and mortar for a cigar than you will online.
was like, hey, welcome to the tea. Like,
You
yeah.
got to keep the lights on. You got to pay the staff. I get that.
He wasn't actually talking about tea. Oh.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. I came out to Indiana to take care of his father before he passed. He was the only one he had.
That's pretty solid.
But I'm guessing that means that you made Indiana your home now.
Prices won't go on through the roof.
Over.
Sounds like Sean's a loser. All right, take off your fan.
Not cheap, it was, Woodside.
Oh, okay.
Next to Woodside Daily.
Yeah.
You know, let me get him taps on this ash off here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my band as well. One of the things that
Slide mine off.
Overall, that's not
same with
bad
me.
price.
I wouldn't slide. Yep. It's slid right off.
20%.
There's nothing in there.
Like,
That to me is a quality roll, quality going into the banding. I hate when I get a cigar that's got the band glued to it.
yeah.
Well, I didn't have no fingernails to peel it off.
Good scotch.
Luckily, they're so tight you couldn't just slide it off.
Yeah.
Really, most aged spirits.
So Scotch, I didn't realize that Scotch was.
There you go. So now you have
So the first Scotch I ever had.
Louisiana area, brother. I'd love to have a cigar with you.
2 liters.
We don't have no lounge
It's like,
where I'm at. Near
it's like a whole big slim limit.
Yes.
away from me.
And I was like, oh, this is awful.
I'm not blessed like Cigar
But
Pop
it's a
is.
whole bottle of it. And I was like, oh, I gotta do
I literally had
something.
one
And it turned into a-
truly like a block and a half away from my house.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Unfortunately, with issues with his parents, he ended up closing up his lounge, and I started. Luckily, at that point, I was finally driving again because if anybody doesn't know, I got injured at work and had to have both knees replaced. So I wasn't driving for basically almost a year and a half, and it took a while until I could drive. And once I was able to drive, is when I started venturing down here, which is literally only 10 to 15 minutes away from my house. But that was a long drive before. Now I get to come here to the lounge. Ed and Tony are great people. As I said before, give a shout out to them earlier. This live is actually being broadcast from their lounge.
Calvin, Ranji, those kinds of things have minimal to no smoke. Now they do have ones that can compete for the effect for the flavor, right? But the general home is a Highland. It has very little smoke.
Yeah,
So it's one of those good examples.
my father blues. Oh, that's
more like whiskey and
Yeah.
malty and
My Father Blue was definitely a good one when we did our live. I really enjoyed that cigar. Matter of fact, even though we end up having to cut it short because of time, I ended up smoking that cigar the rest of the way home.
Yeah, I think Cigar Pop, we did that on our first
Especially with
podcast.
apple cider, when like you think about what are they
Yeah, Sean, actually, I did mention to Lance about when we're going to bring you on as a guest. We're going to work on our calendar to figure that out. Unfortunately, right now we're doing it every other Sunday because we're working around Lance's schedule. But with that, our next Sunday happens to be Mother's Day. I don't want a divorce, so I am not doing a live during Mother's Day.
Yeah, we'll figure out something how to make it happen for Mother's Day. Oh, that's amazing. 10% off purchases and 20% off boxes. That's not a bad deal at all. Plus, you're supporting your local. I'm all about supporting your local businesses.
And it actually reminds me, I am going to pull it up here on the side so I can remind myself exactly what the discounts are.
There's a few.
Spartan also offers discounts. I think it's a buy 4 get 1 or buy 5 get 1. There's discounts on boxes. I think there's even a discount on mix and match.
Okay.
You know the emotions charts?
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, Sean, we're definitely going to work it.
But that's general idea. You know, like, okay, it tastes woody.
Sean, talk
But
all
does
this
it taste
how
good?
busy-
All the vanilla, and then from there,
on to
oh, it
chat.
tastes like cigar boxes.
Okay.
Like, that's awesome. So, and that's good. Those are good. A good way to develop that palate because you don't always have the word for what you're looking for.
Right.
And the only way to do it is to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I am not trying to
What I love
ignore
from the
anybody in
industry
line. I
is
am just trying
I've
to
actually
find
developed 2 blends
where I
that were
put
sold.
those
Or
notes.
the one ended up not being sold because they knew it was just not buying it. But I worked with Crescent in Wilmington, and they do a lot of single barrel dips.
Okay.
So like the guys from Jefferson's will come in and be like, hey,
It's not even
we have barrels A, B, and
Oh,
C.
you know what it is? I had switched
Your samples
laptops.
of them, tell
Since I
us
switched
what you
laptops, I
want.
no longer
And you
have
can
my
pull back out the
documentation
bottle
on this
before you
one.
slide it, you know, and they'll be like,
I am
Jefferson's.
going to,
single barrel dip
No
Crescent's
change,
have it.
CigarPop.
And I was a crew that did that.
No change?
So, because I was doing it so often, I developed, I
I
could
mean,
pull
it's
notes like
good at
orange
best.
peel
Right.
and that kind of stuff.
Coming from
just
Druid
because I
State,
did.
I was hoping this would
So the
not
only way to get
be
better at taking the notes
It is good.
is doing it,
Not
or
popular.
whatever works for you. But if that's how I did it, is I had that chart.
Right.
And I at home just run casually.
Well, we definitely appreciate you coming into our live.
Okay.
Hope to see you next time.
Oh, that's not reminds
Yeah,
me
stay
of, like,
blessed, stay smoky, and keep them lit.
Cigar. It doesn't taste like,
Take care, guys.
but it's kind of what it used to be.
Right.
Something
Bearded
that
Gringo
a lot
is
of
signing
people
off for dinner.
in Scotch, you get people say that the walnut, but it's not the flavor.
Yeah, matter of fact, this is probably your dinner time, isn't it?
Right. So they say walnut because
Yeah,
it
so
contributes
it
to that.
I'm gonna head inside and
So really it's just learning the terminology,
Right.
but then just figuring out for yourself.
try that.
Different palates have different things. If you smoke a cigar before drinking, and I didn't.
Yeah, I had my
it's two
dinner
different things.
So, yeah.
probably about 3 o'clock. I wanted to make sure I had everything ready for the live.
If,
I got here extra early, made sure things were set up. There's a lot of
down at
behind the scenes things that you need to do to make sure everything's working.
One of the things we'll actually
And I have a lot of equipment.
like here's a piece of chocolate, here's an orange.
You normally wouldn't think so. It would just be like a laptop or a phone, but no, between the extra screens, mic, stand, power supplies, cameras, making sure we got internet.
I thank you guys for being patient with us. This is a work in progress. New to both CigarPop. We're enjoying it. We love sharing our thoughts with you and our again. This is purely subjective. This is our unbiased opinion and only ours.
And those tasting charts don't necessarily have to apply just to whiskey. You find one that says whiskey, like aged rum.
Right.
Hell, I've had 18 and 21-year-old rums, and they have a lot of those notes because they're in oak or they're in wood for so long. So you're going to get wood tannins.
Hop back over this picture here again.
You know, some of the
Yeah, I think I like those bands better than the early access white paper bands.
So there's similar notes.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It is a damn good looking band.
Yes. I always like the imagery of the undercrown.
Yes.
So in my opinion, the Undercrown Maduro still
And this
that spot.
It goes for everything, not just whiskey. There's a
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. I think the Undercrown Maduro is still my go-to.
You like what they say or not, you finally trust.
This is, like I said, this is a good in-between for me. It stayed creamy, still maintaining a nice burn line other than a hiccup in the very beginning.
I had to crack it.
So you knew you could trust what the guy
Oh, really?
said. Oh, he doesn't like it? I'm probably gonna.
Maybe because of the high humidity here. Oh,
So
I am outside.
Yeah, that's actually probably something that we should look into. Do you have a hygrometer outside and see what your relative humidity is?
No, I don't.
I don't think you're right.
I don't
You're all
I can't on the weather channel, but it's for the whole area. I don't know if it be access to my particular house, my shop.
Well, next time you come in, I'll make sure to have a little something.
No, it does not. The sweetened tip actually comes on the
And so long, yeah.
water, which has been identified as the new deadwood.
You actually went to the lounge and grabbed your back. I said, "I'll just grab your coffee." It's almost goes. It's like,
Oh, one of the little brown.
yeah, that thing is something.
Good. Well, I'd like to take them all.
I'm getting
I
close.
don't know if it's what you think.
Not like people. I think it's what you want. Oh, okay.
I didn't know actually last night. I like them, but.
And as I just seen it, we got a new subscriber. If you guys don't mind, if you would please go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe. And if you click on that bell, you'll be notified when we go live as well as when we drop any other videos.
And more the merrier. We love everybody coming on, sharing that and sharing it with.
So
We
it-
welcome all comments.
they're just sort of like a seed when they're brown sugar.
No, it's delicious.
Sweetened tip, though. You're in the same boat as Lance then. I actually like a sweetened tip as long as it doesn't feel like it's just been run through artificial sweetener. I like a slightly sweetened tip. That's one of the reasons why the Cabinetta is actually a cigar I enjoy, because it's got the different, matter of fact, Saka's coming out with one now. It's like a Maduro tip on a Habano or a Connecticut. And you're picking up the flavor, the spice, the aroma from the wrapper, but your tongue is getting teased and tricked by the flavor of the Maduro on the cap.
Yeah, it reminded me of like a brown sugar bag, because the outside, across the hip. I ordered a pair for them, so I was going to 6 of them. So, well, yeah, I'll take it for the last.
And as we're starting to wind down here, trying to keep within our time frame. As I said, our next live, which typically would be on May 10th, won't be broadcast May 10th. At least it won't be a live because of Mother's Day. We may be releasing something so that everybody could jump in and see what we smoked for that day. But in order to maintain my marriage, I will not be live.
And we all appreciate
Yeah, the Stillwell Star, from what I understand from seeing some interviews done, Lee Mack had done one with Saka as well as the Cigar Guy. And if I remember correctly, the Stillwell Star was actually being reformulated. So I'm looking forward to trying out all his new blends.
Yeah, Sorrel. So it can be from anywhere, you should Sorrel.
And guys, it is now time for us to start wrapping up. Let me get to this last message before we do.
No.
He has something exciting coming up. I'm not at liberty to disclose anything further, though. Nope, we're going to definitely keep them waiting. Maybe we'll do a reveal here on Keep It Lit, guys. And if you didn't catch the song in the very beginning, once the live is completed and it's been uploaded, you should be able to go ahead and replay that so you can hear that song. As I mentioned before, it will be becoming available on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, etc. in the very near future. And I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, joining us, supporting the channel. Lance, do you have anything you want to say before we sign off?
I'd like to say, I really want to reiterate that this is, in my opinion, a 5-packer, maybe a 10. I'm not going to buy a box of these. It is a good cigar, but it just ain't curling my toes.
Yeah, I don't think it's knocking it out of the park for me, but it's not turning me away.
Correct.
All the time off, I just.
Correct.
I didn't lose my
But
case
thank you,
for,
guys.
but
Appreciate everybody who joined us tonight, commented. We do appreciate every one of you, because without you, CigarPop and I would just be here talking to each other.
Still be good conversation.
Absolutely. Always a good time with you, my friend.
All right, everybody have a good night.
Good night, guys. For more pro tips and honest reviews, like, subscribe, and as always, keep them lit, guys.
Thanks for watching.